We want to talk to somebody else sort of on the other side of things. Rod Robertson is an international entrepreneur, and he joins us on the Disc Institute of Pittsburgh Newsline. Good morning, sir. Thank you for joining KDKA.
A pleasure to be here.
Now, you see things from a slightly different way. Everybody's always looking to try and figure out how to make employees happy and make sure they stay working. But I've worked in a lot of places in my life, and I see a lot of people who are just punching the clock and, take 8 cigarette breaks throughout the day, so they're gone for about an hour and a half smoking cigarettes or whatever, or they're cleaning up their office space for the last 45 minutes of work instead of actually getting things done. So do you see things that way as well sometimes?
You know, there is a big sea change coming in next year, and the year is upon us. This past year with the pandemic, all the issues that we've watched and followed, and America is a very kind and giving country, but that's going to change now because we're also driven by the dollar, as we should be. And we are going to see big changes, and the employees that have been taking advantage of the system, been hiding a little bit behind the COVID, who have been working home, stretching and doing yoga instead of being on the phone with their boss, they're going to get weeded out this year because it's going to get back to business and back to numbers and the performance of each individual company.
Oh, wow. So you're saying legacy employees like Johnny or Janie, who's been there for 30 years or 20 years or whatever, or even 6 months, somebody's friend, who's not putting up the numbers and not putting in the effort is being exposed by the pandemic?
Yes, by the pandemic, but it's more so the economic, recycling that's going on. You know, we like it or not, 40% of the businesses in the United States have been hammered, of which 20% are going to disappear over the period of time, and 20% are going to be crippled. So everyone has to pivot to technology. And if you're not technology-based and if you're not really in the groove at work, you're going to find yourself with a little cross on your back because especially the people working from home, what are they doing? They've gotten away with it this year, and half of them are producing great, but the other half, and those people know it, they've been taking advantage of the system and the time. And everyone's got to wake up next year, and let's all get at it the way we should.
So don't take the Zoom call from the grocery store when you're grocery shopping. Is that what you're saying?
There's been so many funny things that have happened, and it's been okay. Again, the United States is a company of largesse, and we take care of our people. We take pride in being who we are, but now it's time to get back to the system and work. You know, the loss of all these businesses has been tragic. You know, we've all been bemoaning it for years. But you know what? In a way, the table has been cleaned. You know, we're resetting for 2021 in the future, and everyone's got to get on board, and everyone's got to be reinvigorated, and no getting out of bed late and stumbling around. You get up and get your butt to work like you did before the pandemic.
Wow, and you're saying that the hiring practices needs to be reshaped as well, right? The way you hire and evaluate people?
Yes, we've come out with the book, The Human Vector, which describes how to hire, how to fire, or more important for all the employees, how to get into alignment with ownership and how to drink the company Kool-Aid in a way that's fashionable, that makes you feel good, and that really helps the company. I mean, you have to get close to management again in 2021 or face the fiddle. I mean, everyone's got to really get back to it. And this book that we wrote, The Human Vector, is a scientific approach for ownership and for employees that everyone should welcome, and the ones that fear it are the ones that are not towing the line at work.
Now, what do you say to employees who say, you know what, this idea is just going to turn me into a number?
You know what? In business is about numbers, and business is about production. If you're in sales, you have your quotas. If you're in manufacturing, if you're facing to face with the customers, which is the hardest part of the world right now, I mean, you have to do your job. We have to press ahead. You know, business, unfortunately, is about making money. I mean, we don't like 60% of our jobs. We love 40% of our jobs, and that's what all the studies are saying. So let's focus in on that 40% of the job, and let's grow that segment of our work world and make it more enjoyable. There's been a huge pivot to technology. And a recent study by Bill Gates, they're saying that the time has been compressed to leap to technology from 10 years, what it was going to take before the pandemic. Now it's been in 6 months. So if you're really not tech-driven, you better get on the stick at night. Find that young mentor in your office. Find that young person that there's a gulf of distance and time and work ethic to you and everything else, but make them your mentor, and you give them a piece of all the years of experience you had, and feed off of each other.
Create a partnership amongst coworkers, even if you don't like them, just to sort of to help get each other through and make each other more productive is what you're saying.
Yes, it's called reverse mentorship, and it's going to be the way of the future, because we can't hide from technology.
And you say in the human vector, I mean, you're looking at productivity, employee productivity, and company success and failure. What if we're hiring based on productivity? What will that do to EEOC guidelines that a lot of people use?
Well, there's too many guidelines right now. I mean, you can't take a breath without wondering where the new mark on the floor is, or if you got to queue up for the bathroom at work. I mean, people are waiting to get back to work, and the safety net is getting smaller and smaller under us. So push ahead, be strong, be who you were before the pandemic, and learn from the pandemic by being more tech-driven and finding that young mentor.
And the book by Rod Robertson is The Human Vector. And what in it you describe different types of individuals and aspects of the vector. What's the angle?
The angle is, who you are with the company and how you fit into the company. We have great things, the gravitator, the people at the company that pull people into the company and make them excited about the work. And then we have the disintegrator, the person that is on the job that is always causing trouble. I mean, it's a great scientific approach, and the vector is the characteristics of a company and how everyone has to flow to it so the company can stay competitive and everyone can make a great living from the firm.
All right, 2021 will not be able, you won't be able to hide at work anymore in 2021, right?
You know what? Those days are over, I think, and it was an incredible year we just had, and it's going to be a good year coming up. You know what? And it's been a reset of the table. People have been hurt and moved off the playing field, but for the rest of us are going to charge ahead. It's going to be really, really interesting, but let's all work hard and get at it.
There you go. Rod Robertson, managing partner of Briggs Capital, an international entrepreneur, and also co-author of the book Human Vector, which you can get at just log on to briggscapital.com for more information. Sir, thank you very much for lending your voice to the Voice of Pittsburgh.
It's been a pleasure, and I'd like to shout out to my sister Val, who's listening, has been a longtime Pittsburgh native.
Oh, very good. Hi, Val. Thanks for listening. Appreciate it.
Hey, take care.
You
Thanks.
too. Thanks, Rod.